So you are staring at that shiny Honda CR-V sitting on the dealer lot and thinking this is the one, the perfect daily driver that will never leave you stranded. But hold your horses for just a second, because there are a few hidden quirks and mechanical realities nobody talks about until it is too late. Everybody knows Honda has this legendary bulletproof reputation, and do not get me wrong, it is mostly earned, but if you are looking at the models with the 1.5-liter turbocharged engine, you need to know about the oil dilution issue. It sounds scary, and frankly, if you live in a really cold climate and only take short trips where the engine never fully warms up, gasoline can actually seep past the piston rings and mix with your engine oil. Over time, this thins out the oil, reducing its ability to lubricate vital engine components, which is the last thing you want if you are planning to keep this thing for hundreds of thousands of miles. The fix is usually just more frequent oil changes, but it is a real headache you must consider before signing any paperwork. Then there is the transmission. Most modern CR-Vs use a continuously variable transmission, or CVT for short. If you are used to a traditional automatic with gears that shift, the CVT is going to feel weird at first. It keeps the engine RPMs right in the power band, which often results in a loud, droning sound when you step on the gas hard to merge onto the highway. It is fantastic for fuel economy, but from a driving dynamics standpoint, it feels like you are driving a giant rubber band. You really need to take it for a long test drive, especially on the highway, to see if that rubber band feeling and the engine drone will drive you crazy over time. Speaking of the highway, let us talk about road noise. For some reason, despite being a family hauler, Honda has historically struggled with sound deadening in this specific model. You will hear the wind wrapping around the A-pillars and the tire roar echoing through the cabin, especially if the tires are getting worn down. If you want a silent, vault-like ride, you might find yourself turning up the radio just to drown out the asphalt. Now, if you step up to the hybrid models, things get incredibly interesting. They ditched the 1.5-liter turbo for a naturally aspirated 2.0-liter four-cylinder paired with electric motors, and honestly, this is the powertrain to get. It is smoother, significantly quieter, and practically eliminates the oil dilution worry, plus the immediate torque off the line makes it feel surprisingly zippy around town. However, keep in mind that the hybrid battery pack takes up a tiny bit of cargo space, and eventually, many years down the road, replacing that battery is a maintenance item you will have to face. Another thing you really need to inspect is the infotainment system. While the newer generations have vastly improved, the older screens can be laggy, prone to freezing, and sometimes just stubbornly refuse to connect to your phone via the USB ports. Test every single button, plug your phone in, and make sure the system does not feel like a tablet from 10 years ago. Also, pay close attention to the all-wheel drive system if you are looking at an AWD model. Honda calls it Real Time All-Wheel Drive, but it is a slip and grip system. This means it primarily operates in front-wheel drive to save gas and only sends power to the rear wheels when it detects the front wheels slipping. It is perfectly fine for light snow or muddy driveways, but do not mistake this for a hardcore off-roader or a symmetrical all-wheel drive system like you would find in a Subaru. If you are expecting to conquer deep snowy mountain passes every weekend, you might be slightly underwhelmed. So, check the maintenance records meticulously. Prioritize the hybrid if you can find one, and make absolutely sure you are okay with the CVT driving experience and the road noise before you make this long-term commitment. You should also think about the paint quality, because honestly, modern water-based paints are incredibly thin and prone to chipping. If you do a lot of highway driving, the front bumper and the hood of the CR-V will start looking like a starry night sky with all those tiny rock chips unless you invest in a clear paint protection film right away. And finally, just sit in the driver's seat and adjust the steering wheel. Some taller drivers find that the steering column does not telescope out quite far enough, leaving them with a slightly awkward driving position where their arms are stretched out or their knees are crammed against the lower dash. It is a minor ergonomic quirk, but if you are commuting an hour each way every single day, that slight discomfort will quickly turn into a massive annoyance. So take your time, test everything I just mentioned, and you will know exactly what you are getting into.